Let's speak to Ron Peck. He is a retired teacher. He lost his dad during lockdown early this year. Hello to you, Ron. Thank you for joining us. Tell us about your dad.
Okay, thank you. Morning.
Tell me about your dad.
He was a retired infantryman who saw active service with the Middlesex Regiment, very proud Englishman, and he rang me, that's him, and he rang me last year to tell me that his cancer and his heart condition meant that it would probably be his last Christmas. Now, unfortunately, we live about 110 miles away, so we drove and met in the rain on the front door and exchanged gifts. And to make things a little bit worse, my mum has late stage dementia, so she had no idea what was going on. And that was the last time I saw him. And sadly, he passed away in March.
What was his name?
His name was Ron too. It's that tradition of the 60s of calling your children the same name.
When you look back at last Christmas, seeing him in the rain on the doorstep, and then you hear what was happening at more or less the same time, allegedly in Downing Street, how do you feel?
Well, it's very difficult to put into words. First of all, I know that tens of thousands of people had the same experience, so I don't think I'm special at all. But I feel devastated and, really upset and really can't really orate it that well. It's just appalling. And I don't think the people in power really understand what it's like for people who kept all the rules.
The Prime Minister has consistently said, as late ago as yesterday afternoon, he was saying that there wasn't a party and no rules were broken. Do we have to accept what he said at face value?
Well, I'm afraid I don't. And it's pretty obvious if you followed the story that there's plenty of evidence. And I'm afraid it seems to be a bit of a pattern where lies are just glibly given. And it's just the public that suffer. It makes me very, very angry.
Is it, Ron, for you that rules were allegedly broken? Or is it the way in the video that we saw last night that people thought it was quite funny to try to come up with things that stories that they could use to cover up what might have happened?
I think it's both, Kay. I think that, most people sat and see your coverage of the news and see that it's pretty obvious that there's one rule for them and a different rule for everybody else. But yesterday, the footage that emerged of his press secretary was just appalling too. I mean, I should imagine I'm a bit like many other people. I've not managed to sleep for 4 or 5 days. This is just such an appalling occurrence, the way that they have contempt for the electorate.
So just tell me a bit more about that, Ron, if you would. You say that you've not been able to sleep. That's because of the injustice, or what is it?
Yeah,
what's stopping you from sleeping?
Yeah, basically, and the lies and the state that the country is in because of this. And obviously, as I say, I don't think it's not about me, but it's brought back all the memories of Dad and Mum in the rain in the garden and just people laughing at us.
Tell us a good memory about your dad.
Oh, well, he was a very hardworking, extremely hardworking man. And he gave us a love of music and sport. And, and we buried him early April, cremated him, and we could only have half a dozen people there. And it just, it's all part of the same thing. But he was a great man, and I think everyone would say that.
Handsome devil as well, wasn't he?
He certainly was. He certainly was. That was often commented. And that's a great picture that he was in a documentary, which that is from, about national service. I think it was 1958. And that's often shown, that clip. And you can see why he was picked.
I certainly can. Handsome devil, as I said. Just before I let you go, we know that Downing Street watch our programme every morning. What do you want to say?
I don't think, unlike many people, I've got nothing left to say to them. If they had any sense of decency, they would do the decent thing, but they haven't done the decent thing at any point, and that makes me very sad and angry.
And as far as the Prime Minister is concerned, what would be the decent thing as far as you're concerned? Would it be to say he's sorry?
Absolutely not. I've seen a lot of comment, and even comment from the Leader of the Opposition, that we need to demand an apology. I think most people in the electorate demand a lot more than an apology. It's just very, very bad.
OK. Ron, I'm sorry you had to relive what happened earlier this year, but thank you for taking the time. Look after yourself.
Thank
Handsome
you, Kate.
devil,
Nice
like
to
your
talk to
dad,
you.
aren't you?
Thank you.